Alright, let's talk about the level ranges of monsters and Mythic Resilience, because people don't consider this when they look at what Mythic Resilience does and then decide that it destroys the game. There's a level chart of mythic things to put on monsters to make them mythic, and at 1st, 7th, and 13th, the GM can pick between Mythic Resistance and Mythic Resilience. And typically speaking, Mythic Resistance won't affect Mythic players in most games because Mythic characters bypass it automatically. But it is worth noting that at each of these three tiers, if each of them was Mythic Resilience, is because the person that made the monster put it there. It's also worth noting in several spots the book advises against using Mythic on anything higher level than average party level +2. This is a statement that's made in the rules for building Mythic encounters, and also 2 of the 4 Mythic templates have a blanket typically never use this on APL +3 or higher. So multiple times it's suggested to not use Mythic on things that are more than APL +2. Also, the default guidelines suggest putting it on the highest saving throw first, which typically speaking casters are trying to avoid targeting anyway. Haters will point at a couple of exceptions to this guideline as if that invalidates the guideline or the expectation at all, and I can gesture at a couple of other monsters that don't have any Mythic Resilience at all, despite having the level to have it in multiple places. As well as I can gesture at a few regular monsters that don't follow the building creature rules exactly. So going forward, we're going to assume the baseline is the baseline and not an exception, and we're also going to assume that the GM isn't going to do something that's obviously stupid that will screw you. Alright, info dumping aside, let's get back to the level ranges, and this might spill over into another video. At the level 1 to 3 range, you're going to have the hardest time telling when something is Mythic because the only Mythic adjustment it has from the chart is either Mythic Resilience in 1 saving throw or Mythic Resistance. Basic expectation is it's in the highest saving throw you're avoiding targeting anyway, and if it isn't, that means it's either in moderate, which means the low is open, or it's in the low, which means moderate is still open, which is still perfectly accurate to target. And I'd also like to note at this particular point how weird it would be if you don't pick Mythic Resistance in this slot in this level range, because that means it's a fairly low-level monster that can be hurt normally by regular weapons by regular people, and most of its saving throws are still open. If the low-level Mythic monster isn't resisted to the most accessible form of attack, what threat is it to regular people? But on that note, I'm running out of time, so we'll advance up the level track in the next video.